This show is brought to you by PPR Capital Management. Did you know there's a way to invest passively in real estate and get monthly income without dealing with tenants, maintenance, or property management? If you're an accredited or high net worth investor, you can earn cash flow without the headaches by investing in a private equity real estate fund. PPR Capital Management. With nearly $1 billion in assets under management, PPR has provided investors with steady, truly passive monthly income since 2007 without ever missing a payment. To learn more, check out pprcapitalmanagement.com/birds today. That's pprcapitalmgmt.com/birds.
All right, welcome to another episode of Between the Vines. This is another special episode. This is a New Year's Eve episode, so we got a lot to celebrate. We are celebrating today from Mainline Armory. You guys remember our very special friend, Steve Meyer, who is with PPR Capital Management, and they are our show sponsors. Trey looks like he's in the studio today.
Yeah, man. I'm just hanging out at my studio, Pino's Palette here in Cherry Hill. I had a couple meetings this morning, and just to come and clear my mind, I just wanted to pop a bottle of wine and just throw some paint on the canvas, man. Come in and work on the painting.
I like that. Well, we decided to have a little bit of different clearing your mind over here. We came to Mainline Armory last day of 2024. We threw some lead around, and I got some footage we'll send over to you guys so you can see it. But yeah, we came here last year. It's always such a good time to come here. Dude, they got some cool guns. They got this new minigun, and it runs off. It's the only one in the country.
Okay.
It's got two wooden handles, an on switch, and you just let it rip. It runs off of Milwaukee batteries, like the power tool batteries.
Oh, okay. Wow.
Yeah, it's pretty wild. So, dude, they got such an extensive set here, and Greg and the crew always take care of us. So, special shout out to them.
Yeah, absolutely. I like it over there, man. It's a beautiful spot.
Yeah, what are you drinking on, Trey?
I'm drinking Miami. I got this giant bottle of Miami Pinot Noir. Yeah.
Miami's a solid Pinot. I like that.
Yeah, so that's what I'm running through today. Just like I said, I don't paint unless I have a glass of wine. So it's the right way to go into 2024 to 2025. It's my last painting of the year. Just throw some wine in a glass and get to it. What are y'all drinking on?
Champagne, brother. We're celebrating.
Champagne. Okay.
Yeah, we got ourselves a nice. I'm gonna screw this up. It's French, but it's not from Champagne, so it's bubbles. It's a French bubble called Louis Boulat.
All right.
But I figured, it's New Year's Eve. Eagles kind of dominated yesterday without even
perfect time to celebrate.
Even without our guy running the show. You know what I mean? Yesterday was full of great things.
Yes.
But I would like to cheers to the man that gave Tanner McKee his football back. Because that was a very special moment.
It was.
And AJ was really excited, But it all got sorted out. So
it all worked itself out. It was that was awesome. Good job.
Exactly.
To a true Philly fan.
Cheers.
Exactly.
Yeah, cheers to the Philly fan. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
All right. So Dallas coming into town. No Jalen Hurts. No CeeDee Lamb, which is positive for us, right? They're kind of coming into town with no offense, really. But I was actually impressed. They were moving the ball around. You know what I mean? We didn't even get a first down in the first quarter. You know what I mean? But what I liked from the game yesterday is we showed that we went out there and could spread the ball around to our playmakers without Jalen Hurts, actually with both of our reserve quarterbacks, and still be an offense that can put some points on the board. Smitty had a great game, and our defense balled once again.
Yeah.
What were your main takeaways?
It was just an attitude game for me. It could have been a trap game where everybody's woe is me. Jalen Hurts isn't in the game. home game. But man, and it did seem like when the game first started that it started off slow, where it was like, all right, man, it's going to be a little bit more of a challenge. Then CJ gets that touchdown, interception, touchdown. Offense comes out there, they struggle a little bit. It's like, all right, we need this kick on. But man, when they caught on, it was just over, man. This team just went out there and dominated this Cowboys team.
Yeah, I mean, it was domination, right?
It was. Well, unless you're Micah Parsons, who apparently without the scoreboard, if there was no scoreboard, it was a little closer.
Is that what he said?
His exact comment after the game was,
Yeah.
take away the scoreboard, it was a lot closer game.
Felt a lot closer.
Which
It felt a lot
I was at the
closer.
game. I don't think that was the case.
I've
Yeah,
been in those
41
games
to
before,
7.
though.
Yeah.
I've
Where
been
you
in those
felt
games
like it was-
before. It's usually when you lose those games that you have that feeling. When you win
Yeah,
those
man,
games, you're not like, man, that was a lot closer. I can't believe we won by 30 points.
Yeah, it was 41 to 7. And you're talking about
Yeah.
you took the scoreboard away. Yeah, if you take the scoreboard away in any game, yeah, it feels a lot closer. But no, 41 to 7, man, dude. Like, first of all,
No,
I
if you
just
take
have
the
to say-
scoreboard away, we're just playing recess ball. I mean, that's all it
Yeah.
is. You know what I mean?
we're just out there, just hanging out. I don't know. It to me,
What a
man,
weird comment.
It varied. This offensive line is just absolutely dominant. This group has surpassed the 2017 Super Bowl offensive line for me. I think that this group of guys with Big Mailata, then Landon Dickinson, Cam, and then Big Becton, and then Lane Johnson, man, these guys, and then even when you got to have Steen come in, or whoever has to step in and play, these guys have done a hell of a job just going out there and enforcing their will on the opposing opponent and just making them submit. You can see Michael Parsons just look like he didn't even want to be out there anymore.
Yeah, yeah. Well, dude, he's going against Lane, and Lane was putting the cuffs on him.
He
Like,
was.
Yeah,
dude,
both the tackles, both Lane and Jordan
Yeah.
Mailata. I mean, they were putting hands on him. I mean, this group is extremely dominant, and it's like once they start getting the run game going, to go out there and you say, all right, you know what? We had two quarterbacks come in there. You had two different quarterbacks come out there, and you still pitched a shutout against a really good rushing front, and they went out there and handled their business.
absolutely. I mean, dude, were you positive going into this game? First of all, let's stay on the O-line for a second here. Did they see, was there a heavy package out there where Steen came in and they kept 6 out there? Did
Yeah.
I see that right? Have they
Yeah,
been doing that for a while?
No, I think that was something they tried to do to just kind of get Saquon going. There were a couple times that they had him lying out there at that tight end 6-man front, but and it worked. Sometimes they would show up, put him on their side, but then you run the opposite way, ran some outside zones to him. But man, once these guys really start clicking, it's nothing you can do, man. This offensive line, Coach Stoutland has coached his behind off this year, man. This is by far one of the best offensive line performances I've seen.
Trey, let me ask you this. As far as tackle tandems go, Jordan and Lane are very good. Very good, right?
Yeah.
I know that you were part of also a pretty elite tackle tandem with you and Runyon for quite a few years. Where do these guys? And then there was Peters and obviously Peters and Lane, but before that there was Peters and me. I know you guys forget about that. But amongst the tackle tandems, like, where do you think these guys rank? Because I've always kind of viewed, obviously Lane and Peters are up there because Peters is just a phenomenal talent. But you and Runyon had a nice run here in Philly too, and you guys were in Pro Bowl and on the All Pro. Well, you were more than John, but John also made it on there and stuff. Like, where do you think these guys rank in the history of Eagles tackles?
Man, to me, I mean, you always, the ones that's right in front of you right now is always. I
Always
want to
the
be
best.
vain. Yeah, I want to be vain and just say, yeah, it was me. And John and I will always be the best. But
Right.
man, but Lane Johnson is a Hall of Famer. He's going to be a first ballot Hall of Famer. I think Jordan
Absolutely.
Mailata is definitely playing his way in there as well. I mean, he is playing at a Pro Bowl level as well. So, I got to put them up there really high, man. Lane and Jordan Mailata. And I think that they're both way better run blockers than I was. I know Runyon was always a good run blocker. Jason Peters was a really good run blocker. But when you look at the two of those guys with Lane and Joy Mailata, man, they are a nasty tandem.
Yeah.
But how many of them have scored a touchdown?
Well, hey, Well,
I had to do a shot at.
Actually, Lane has scored a touchdown.
Who scored 2 touchdowns?
Yeah, Lane scored one. Yeah.
Lane has tied me. Well, yeah, I think Lane has 2, doesn't he?
I thought he only had 1.
Well, I was the first lineman.
But was it Lane more of a preseason game thing, or was it an in-game? Was it an in-game?
Was it? I don't know. I try to put it out of my memory because. Yeah. Anyway, I don't know what Lane's touchdown was, exhibition game or regular season or whatever, but I remember mine, and they were both in the regular season.
Yeah, absolutely. But
the one in Seattle was actually a go-ahead touchdown, so I got that going for me, which is nice.
There you go.
As far as tackle tandems go, bro, they were good. I remember one time when I was playing tackle with Peters, like I was the right tackle, Peters was the left tackle, and we went to play the Patriots, and Belichick said something to the papers about I was like Googling my name, see if my name was coming up in any conversation or anything, and Belichick had a comment where he was like, yeah, Peters and Harriman's 2 of the best tackles in the league right now. And I thought to myself, like, all right, must be a down year. Must be a down year in the NFL.
No, man, you were holding down. You were holding down out there. No, you got to hold it down out there on the island.
Yeah, man. The island's a tough spot to be. You got to be a special player out there.
But man, I think this just, when you look at this group, man, just as an offensive line, they are, some of the stunts they picked up, a lot of the blitzes that they picked up you could tell like the coaching that went into this and the preparation that went into this. I mean, they were picking up games and blitzes like it was nothing. There was one time where, you had a fire zone react where the linebacker backed out of there to the right, and instead of Cam continually to drift to the right, he turns left, switched it off with the guard, and then, Saquon was able to fill in. I mean, dude, they did some really good stuff. You had 2 linebackers one time. There was a cross dog, and Cam was able to switch it off. Saquon was able to come in and take the other linebacker. I think that, man, this was one of the top coaching and preparation games as well, because some of that stuff you don't just fall into. You have to talk about it.
No, I mean, I think just from a preparation game, you're right, dude. You don't go out there and put a whooping on the Cowboys like that with your backup quarterbacks on the field, unless you got all your T's crossed and your I's dotted,
Yeah.
But dude, the defense was shining. They look great. I mean, like you said, it was a slow start, and CJ just kind of like picked it up, took it to the house.
Yeah.
Hey, one thing, did you see? I know they get excited when they take these to the house. Was that like a little wet Willie celebration that Cooper DeJean was trying to do on the way into the end zone? He got like real close to the ear hole with his finger while they were running.
Yeah, I don't
I'm
know.
all about it.
No, I'm not about a wet Willie. I don't think it should be a wet Willie. Yeah, I have no
wet Willie
idea.
Celebration. Dude.
No, I don't know. I don't know if he was just pointing you're the man, or I don't know. But man, CJ he took away Q's interception.
I know. We've been waiting for him to get one all year, and he was like sitting there with his breadbasket waiting for it.
Yeah. And CJ, I'm gonna take that from you, homie. I'm sorry, I'm out of here. Oh, that was awesome.
He said, "I'm greedy. I didn't even get to play the second half last week. I need to make up for it. 2 picks."
Absolutely, and got fined $45,000.
He got fined 45 racks for that?
Yes.
Was that because of the FaceTime afterwards?
I'm thinking that had something to do with it.
It had something to do with it? Yeah. He went live from the locker room.
That probably wasn't the best thing to do.
No. Yeah, that type of behavior is frowned upon sometimes, So he was fined $45,000. Yeah, so he went out there and tried to make up with it, get some of these incentives with a couple of interceptions.
Hey, you got to make the money after you spend it. That's for sure.
So on the defense, what about the line?
The D line?
Yeah.
Trey, what do you think about the D line this week?
I mean, you go back and you look at the box score, you don't see a lot of sacks. But I thought that when it came to running the ball, that they held their own. You know what I'm saying? Like they came out there, they controlled the line of scrimmage. Anytime you sit there and when you watch the sideline view of the all 22, the way you could tell if the defensive line is winning the game is controlling the line of scrimmage if you see all stalemates. You know, and when you watch that group, it's all stalemates across the board. They're controlling the line of scrimmage, which allows the linebackers to flow and make plays.
Yeah. I thought that they played a good game, dude. Anytime your defense only allows 7 points, there's not a lot of holes or deficiencies going on there.
And listen, Jalen Carter is being held, double teamed and held
dude,
every
team
down.
Yeah, he's a monster. And I mean, I would love to play with a guy like that because he gets so much attention. You would feel, like forgotten.
Yeah.
It could be a good thing as a D lineman, to be forgotten about.
Yeah, you know what I noticed though earlier in the game, I think Jalen Carter didn't come in until late in the first quarter, and I'm
What's
like,
that?
is he on punishment?
Well, possibly. I've carried a couple of those punishments before, throughout my career. So it's something they can kind of keep quiet, a little quiet,
Yeah.
And then somebody's like, well, she didn't come in until a little bit later. We're like, yeah, it's something they had to handle.
Yeah. No, we wanted him coming off the bench. He said he would get a little bit more fired up, but I noticed that he didn't come in until maybe midway through the first quarter. And, once they started driving, getting down in the red zone, Jalen Carter came in, So I was like, wow, I wonder if there was something there, but whatever. He got in and he was just as dominant as ever.
We know that he plays really well when he's pissed off. So maybe they're just trying to find new ways to irk him a little bit, like, hey, we're gonna not play you right now. Like, why?
And he drew a penalty. You know what I'm saying? With the unsportsmanlike conduct.
Yeah, dude, turnovers were huge in this game.
Yeah,
like, dude, our guys are all over the ball. Whenever you see the ball hitting the turf, and it just seems like our guys are wanting it more. They're diving on the ground. The Cowboys know that they got to finish the season. They know they got 2 more games to play, and they're just trying to not be on crutches or have to have surgery before their vacation.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? That was evident.
Yeah. You could tell, like, after a certain point, it was kind of like, all right, let's just get out of this game.
So for our, we didn't bring a lot of wine, but I do have a little something I caught in the mail today. Our friends the Kelseys sent me another care package.
Wow.
A little garage beer action. So they say, we know you've been seeing garage beer around on the socials. By the end of this year, they're going to be nationally distributed. So they sent a couple beers for us to have. But I know you're not a big beer guy, so I just brought them in on this one since you're not here.
Yeah, there you go. Enjoy yourselves.
Yeah, well, we're going to try them. So it says it's beer-flavored beer. Ice them down and enjoy a few on Trav and I.
Okay, cool.
I like beer-flavored beer.
Beer-flavored beer is always good.
Beer-flavored,
and they're cold, right?
That's all. That's good.
So we got two different flavors here. We're going to go with the classic light beer, which I believe is some sort of Pilsner. Trey, you're going to know what this tastes like because I'm going to describe it to you, all right?
All right, cool. Yeah, it sounded like a beer was open. That was awesome.
Yep.
Open there.
Very good.
It's a light beer. He's right about that. This is 95 calories. So,
that's
drink your heart out.
Yep. Watching your figure.
So Kelsey and them are putting out Skinnylicious beers?
Skinnylicious beers. Skinnylicious beers. 4% alcohol. It says it's small batch brewed. Not sure what that means.
Okay.
But it's good. I feel like it's a kind of beer that people that drink beer all day long would love. Like
That's
you could crush this at a tailgate.
Absolutely.
I've somehow turned into a little bit of a beer snob. I do a little more craft beer these days because I don't drink as much of the beer. And I hate saying that, but like when I drink like, Bud Light, Miller Lite, obviously not garage beer. Garage beer is delicious, but I find myself, the taste is good.
Yep.
But the aftertaste that I get from like Bud Light, Miller Lite and stuff, I don't like it, but this doesn't have that aftertaste.
No, it doesn't.
It's good.
It doesn't.
It's good.
I will say this. Last show I was on with you guys, you had cereal delivered from the Kelseys.
Yeah.
And I kind of did a shout out saying, where's mine?
Yeah.
haven't gotten it, and now you have beer. So again, Kels, if you can't find my home address, I'll send it to you. But I'd like garage beer too.
Yeah, we'll see if we get
There you
some
go.
garage beer. Okay, here's
There
number
you go.
2. This is a lime beer, classic lime beer,
Okay.
which I would imagine would be like a summertime. You're drinking in like 90 degrees on the boat, something or other like that. It's very good. It tastes the same except for there's lime.
There's a
It has a
good,
lime
strong
taste to
taste of lime.
It's got a lime taste to it. Genius.
it.
Well, good job, Jason and Travis. I
Very
hope
good.
this is a very successful venture for you. It's good beer. Thanks for sending it. Keep the swag coming. I enjoy the boxes. So, all right, about the game. Elliot, we're good with Elliot, right? Special teams?
Yeah. Mighty Leg is
He put
back
it
in.
through.
Yeah. Mighty Leg is
They even
back.
missed
He's
the
good.
kick. It's good to have the kick gods back on our side.
Mm-hmm.
Now,
Yeah.
how many yards do we have from Saquon, right? He needs,
Oh, man.
100 this week?
101.
I think he only needs 101 yards to beat Eric Dickerson's record.
All right, so let's
And
get into this. If you're the coach, what do you do here?
I, for one,
This is a pointless game.
just because Eric Dickerson's little hating, like, his whole, I don't want it. I hope he doesn't break my record. I want Saquon to go and break his record. I want him to go and just crush it. Just because of how Eric Dickerson handled it.
Did you see the back and forth between Brett Favre and what's his face from the Jets?
Gastineau?
Yeah, Gastineau.
Yeah, I saw that. Because Brett Favre laid down for Strahan for that sack. Which gave him the sack.
I understand that.
As a tackle, if I was Brett Favre's tackle, I would have been pissed too. You know what I'm saying? Because at the end of the day, that sack is going on me. And I don't ever want it to be known that I was the one that gave up the record sack. You know what I'm saying? So I would have been pissed if I was the tackle in that game. But
who was it though? Who was it?
I have no idea who he was.
Nobody remember who that tackle was, bro.
But
everybody remembered it was Brett Favre.
The tackle
You're gonna have to do some digging. You're gonna have to go to Brett Favre's roster that year and see who his starting tackle was. Nobody remembers that, dude. Mark Gastineau was pissed. He was pissed. He's still pissed. He's still pissed. How many years later is that, bro? That's like 20 years later.
It's like McNabb and T.O. You know what I'm saying? There's always going to be some type of feelings there, but he was pissed. And he was like, look, I want to get my sack back right now.
Like Brett was going to be like, my bad, dude. Here, you can have it back. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I'll call everybody right now. We'll get this all straightened around. You're still the leader.
Yeah, all right, are you going to sack me twice right here to break the record? You know what I'm saying? You want to hit me twice? Yeah, it was very awkward. But, I want, because Eric Dickerson talks about it as if when he beat OJ's record, he had 2 extra games. OJ set that record with 14 games. Eric Dickerson had 16 games. So he's trying to make it seem like, well, you got 1 extra game. You had 2 extra games to beat OJ's record.
And Saquon's had 34
Look
less
at carries, bro. Look at the carries.
Saquon has 34 less carries.
I want Saquon to go out there. I don't care if they got to give him 50 carries. Go on out there and go smash his record.
You say play him this week.
Yeah, hell yeah. Go break the record.
I say play him. First of all, I was upset they took him out. I think he could have run another 50 yards on Dallas and made it easier. I get the concern, but honestly, for the team, for that O-line, for the supported team, I think you give him a chance to do it.
Yeah.
That's this. I want to see him play. I want to see the record made. I'm devil's advocate here, thinking like, man, would you rather have a Super Bowl or would you rather have I think you can have both. But God forbid he gets hurt. Right. But also, this is like the perfect script against New York. Oh yeah. Yes. And I'd like them to play that video of the owner saying, "I'm not going to sleep." Right. Yeah, they should play that.
Break the record in New York.
That should be on the big screen and play in the pregame. That the GM saying, I'm going to lose a lot of sleep if Saquon ends up in Philly.
And then there he is. And he's just
Yeah.
having the time of his life. And this offensive line, I think that this offensive line is charged up, and they would take this personally,
They would.
to help him get there, and then once he breaks the record, take him on out of there. Get him out of there,
Yep.
and
Yeah, I
then
think
now
they
he
should.
can
I think they
rest.
get it done. I think they should go out there and get it done in the first half.
Agreed.
Go get it done in the
Yeah.
first half. Set them down. Enjoy the
Yeah,
record.
and get him out of there. Whatever it is, take that record, get him, and then get on out of there. Because I tell you what, man, even these quarterbacks, I thought they did a heck of a job, man.
Well, bro, you're not going to be able to load the box. You're not going to be able to load the box. We just tore them up.
Yeah.
Dude, Devontae just
but-
had the game of the season for himself,
Mm-hmm. Yeah, they both, Devontae and AJ Brown, man, they went out there and they just, well, AJ wasn't as dominant, but he made some big catches in times,
Yeah.
But Devontae, Slim, man, he's an animal, man. I love him as a player, and he's someone definitely that you could trust out there on the field, and he's gonna get it done.
Yeah. I mean, dude, I just like how everything's clicking at the right time right now. Even though we're having a couple of hiccups with injuries and stuff, it's not like I don't feel like we're having any setbacks. It's just we keep building toward the playoffs. Hopefully we go out there, have a crazy first half against the Giants, whoop up on them, set the guys down, rest them up for the next week.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
I mean, listen, if it was played away at MetLife Stadium, with that stadium the way it is,
on the
I'd
turf
probably say no, because that's a knee and Achilles prone injury field. But I think on our field, give them the half. Let's see if we can do it. I think you make a personal challenge to the O-line, and I think they'll step up.
Oh, I think they're going to step up. I think they're just going to mob the Giants front. I think it's going to be awesome to see.
Yeah, and I think that you give, if Jalen Hurts can go, you let Jalen go for a little bit, just so that
let him knock the rust off before Green Bay comes to town.
Yep.
Exactly. I want him sharp. At least give him a half. I want him sharp. I do not want Jalen going into the playoff game against Green Bay.
No powers, no tush push.
No.
Yeah. No,
let him hand the ball off. No reads. Let him run it like Pickett ran it. Let him run it like McKee ran it. Like we can still win games like that.
Exactly. I don't need him running any quarterback powers, any quarterback draws. I want, all right, hand it off. Here goes an RPO, a nice little throw over the top. Only run it if you need to and get down. And I mean, get down quick. Don't try to run anybody over. Just kind of get those little handoffs, RPOs, just to keep that backside defensive end or linebacker honest to kind of help open up some of those holes so Saquon can get that 101 yards.
Absolutely. Dude, and I actually am happy that we ended up with Green Bay at home. You know what I mean? I think that's a good draw for us.
I'd rather play them than Washington.
Absolutely. Steve, anything new in the capital management world here going on?
No, I've had a good year. We just finished up end of year this year. We raised a record amount of capital, PPR. So I think with the new administration coming in next year, it's obviously going to be a pro-economy administration. If you read and see everything going on, the U.S. is probably going to be the driving economy in the world for the next 2 years. There's just so much other strife and other economic issues going on outside the country. So I think it's going to be an investor's market for the next 2 years.
That sounds like a good deal to me.
Yeah, absolutely.
We're looking forward to it.
Yeah.
So I do have a question for you guys.
What's up?
One last thing on the game. The refs and penalties. And I know we only, I can say. So I've watched, and I think I counted 6 missed calls, no calls against the Eagles. The most blatant, the shove down of Devontae.
Yeah.
I almost feel there's a conspiracy. And by the way, Brad Allen did hear this from me because I'm right in that first row, and he heard it loud and often every time he came near me. I actually brought my own yellow flag and was offering it to him, and at that point he walked away from me. But what's your guys'
dude? I mean, first of all, I don't really think there's anything like home cooking. I mean, you're not getting calls because you're the home team. Obviously, we're not getting calls because we're the home team. I think that you get certain crews that want to affect the game and they throw a lot of flags. And then I think you get certain crews that are out there and they just kind of want the game to be played, and they see stuff that's really kind of nitpicky and they're going to let it go. You know what I mean? Because it's not affecting the play. But there's guys that they like their TV time and they want to throw their laundry on the field. But are you saying like we're just getting the short end of it?
Well,
it seems it because we're fans.
My view, and again, I'm not going to put this on you two guys being ex-players. My view is the same stuff was happening, and Dallas seemed to get the calls on us. But the Devontae was the one that just put me over the edge because it was so blatant. It happened right by the line judge.
Yeah,
and there was no flag for him.
I also think like sometimes in the game, I mean, refs are human. I think that like if it's getting poured on, they won't like pour it on the losing team anymore. But I don't know, dude.
They just want to get it.
I don't think
with.
they're out to get us. I don't. I can't believe that.
Yeah, and I guess as an ex-player, you never want the refs. You never want to blame the refs for whatever's happening. You just you go out there and just handle your business regardless of what's happening.
Yeah.
And I think and that's one of the things that I think that this team has done really well, even though, even when everybody said, tried to talk to Jalen Carter about, how he's being held and all the double teams and everything. He's like, hey man, that's just football. So when you're taking that approach, when you're taking that approach as a player, you can't allow yourself to sit there and think about, oh man, you know what, the refs are out to get us. You just got to go out there and handle your business regardless of what's going on.
You're right. But as a fan, it sure does seem like they're stacking against us a little bit. It does. Right? Like CJGJ gets punched in the face and then he gets flag. Racked up 45 grand in fines. Right?
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, that's 2 weeks in a row.
Yeah.
2 weeks in a row.
Yeah.
But hey, we rise above.
Exactly.
We rise above.
It's time to put a little spotlight as we go into the playoffs.
Yeah.
Maybe be a little bit more careful calls.
Maybe they'll like watch our. But I'm sure the majority of the referees and officials watch our podcast. So
if they don't, they should.
If they don't, they should. We'll be sending
reminders
to everybody. I think that's about wraps it up for us, Trey.
Yeah, man. Happy New Year.
Happy New Year.
Happy New Year.
To you and yours. It was a great 2024.
It was an awesome 2024.
You got anything big planned for the night?
I'm gonna go to bed.
Are you the one that stays up to watch the New Year? Or are you going to bed about 10 o'clock?
Dude. I rarely make it past 10:30. So I'm sure.
So the wife's just gonna sit there and watch the ball drop all on her own.
No, we go to bed, man. I mean,
She's going to bed too. Oh, gotcha. I guess.
Oh yeah. Like that's it. No, we're not. I guess we stopped doing it so long. Like every now and then we'll stay up and we count it in, but for the most part, man, shoot, man, we in the bed, dude.
You're empty nesters, bro. It's not that exciting anymore.
Yeah. We're not out partying. How about you guys? What are you guys getting into?
Well, we're not out partying, so everybody's asking like, hey, what are you doing? You want to come over and do this? No, man. I want to stay at home because if I go somewhere, that means I have to come home afterwards.
Yeah, exactly.
I'm going to stay home. I got family in town. You saw my brother at the tailgate. He's here with his daughters and wife. And, we're all just going to hunker down and have a good time.
Yeah, there you go, man.
And I will be like Trey. I'll be asleep.
You'll be asleep. You don't watch it anymore. Huh?
Nope. By 11 o'clock, I'll be sound asleep.
Yeah, that's what I'm talking about. Yeah. Well, I'll watch the highlights tomorrow.
Yeah. Well, Steve, we appreciate everything you do, dude. Thanks for popping on today.
My pleasure.
Trey.
Absolutely.
Happy New Year, my brother.
New Year, Trey.
Happy New Year to you
next
guys.
year.
Absolutely.
Take care. Cheers.
All right.
Remember, like, subscribe, follow. We'll catch you guys next week.
This show is brought to you by PPR Capital Management. Did you know there's a way to invest passively in real estate and get monthly income without dealing with tenants, maintenance, or property management? If you're an accredited or high net worth investor, you can earn cash flow without the headaches by investing in a private equity real estate fund. PPR Capital Management. With nearly $1 billion in assets under management, PPR has provided investors with steady, truly passive monthly income since 2007 without ever missing a payment. To learn more, check out pprcapitalmanagement.com/birds today. That's pprcapitalmgmt.com/birds.